Hi guys, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. It's been a while. It's good to see you all.
Yeah, good to see you.
Um,
Yeah.
Excited about this new album, guys. Really, really loving it.
Thank you.
Went out October 8th. I love the sort of campfire vibe to it. Lots of soul in there. So tell us a little bit about what you wanted to achieve with this album sonically and what it shows about where you guys are at in your careers at the moment.
Honestly, we really didn't know we were going to make an album. We just kind of blocked 3 weeks off to go down into the studio and just kind of see what happened. We thought we would get, hopefully 5 or 6 good songs or whatever, and just turned out to be just work out so well that we ended up with 13 songs that we all loved, and so that was pretty cool. But then sonically, I think we just we like we always do, just approach each song as its own entity, and kind of take it wherever it needed to go. So I think that's why you hear a lot of different sounds on the album. There's country, there's Motown, there's more pop elements. Yeah.
And you went down to Asheville to record some of this, am I right in thinking?
Yes.
Yep.
So
Ash,
tell us a little bit about going to Asheville and doing some recording, writing out there in comparison to maybe being in your sort of comfort zone of Nashville. Does that help you guys creatively?
yeah, and it really is the reason this album got created and the reason it sounds that this way. We've done this a couple times in the past where we went into the studio and wrote a song together and recorded it right there. We've done that twice, and they both turned out to be hits actually. But we never had the chance to make an album that way. We never had the chance to just get away from everything and take an extended period of time to completely immerse and just focus on the music without any distractions. So when we had the time, because of the pandemic, we had the time to do it. And so it really was amazing. It was a creative burst, and it was, just to be in it 24 hours a day, even when you were done at the studio, hanging out at the house at the end of the night, you still talk about the day, you still have ideas for the songs, and just had time to write them, time to record them. So it really was a different process than we're used to, and it was awesome.
And you did a lot of work again with Shane and Josh, Shane McAnally, Josh Osborne. And as the old saying goes, if you don't broke, don't fix it, I guess. So tell us a little bit about the dynamic that you guys have with Shane and Josh and why it always works so well on your albums.
Yeah, Shane McAnally and Josh Osborne and Matt Jenkins too, who was in on this project as well. They've all been a part of this band since before we were a band, really. Like we've been really great friends and collaborators since before we had any success as songwriters and before they had success. We sort of had a chemistry with them that we knew was going to create a different caliber of song than we were with anyone else. So we just decided to kind of dig into that a little bit more. Every chance we could, we would set weekly writes and things with them. So as the band grew, they grew with us and they grew on their own, and we remained very close and very proud of them. And it takes, it's like a kid, it takes a village to raise the kid, and it takes a village to raise the band too, so you've got to have, we can create what we create, but you got to have all these people on your team, on the business side and the creative side to give it the best shot. And those guys are the guys that are going to give us the best shot.
And I want to ask you about collaborating with Gladys Knight as well. How on earth does a collaboration like that come about for you guys? Where does the idea come from? How is it made? How does it happen?
It fell out of the sky. I mean, it was honestly, we wrote that song and recorded it, and we were listening back in the studio, and we were just commenting on how it had this cool Motown feel, and we were like, man, wouldn't it be cool if we could get somebody like Gladys Knight on the song or something like that? And somebody mentioned that she actually lives in Asheville, North Carolina. And so we thought, wow, that's crazy. I wonder if we could find anybody that knows her. And it just so happened it turned out the studio owner knew her, and she said, "Yeah, I'll call her. Her and her husband are friends of mine." And so a couple hours later, she came back to the studio and said, "Hey, I talked to Gladys. She loves you guys, and she's in." So it was really I mean, we couldn't believe how that just fell out of the sky, like I said. So it was just amazing to work with her.
Yeah, what was it like for you guys to work with her from a creative standpoint, to be with someone from a completely different world to you guys, just watching the way that she works? How was that experience?
I think, initially, like on paper, it seems like she's from a completely different world. But one of the first things that she said to us when we met her was how at the heart of her biggest songs, they were country songs. So that's how she views herself, and her writing and her performing is the same, as she's a storyteller. And that's what we are doing, is telling stories. And however it's framed or labeled, that's up to whoever. But, we have a lot more in common than it would seem. So it was actually pretty easy for her and for us to, work together. But it was pretty trippy to watch, Gladys Knight in there singing the song that you wrote, some words that you created and melodies that you thought up are now being performed by a complete legend. It was pretty wild.
That's very cool. And I was on about that day inside the top 10 now on country radio. So congrats on that, guys.
Thank you.
Tell us about the decision-making process when it comes to an album, because I know you've got label obviously having their say as well. How do you come to an agreement on which single is going to be the first to go out?
We've always been pretty good at getting a collective vision, but mostly the five of us, we just talk it out. We just, those type of decisions, you overthink them, and you're supposed to, and that's a good thing, to overthink for a while. But eventually, once you talk it all out, you arrive at a decision. Of course, you consult the label and get their opinion, your management's opinion, but ultimately it comes down to the five of us. Just
your mom's opinion.
Yeah, mom.
Everybody's got an opinion.
Your wife's opinion.
Yeah.
Your kid's opinion is actually very important.
The kids' one is probably at the top, actually.
Yeah.
It's up there.
Yeah, and then ultimately it's us. I mean, it all falls on us whether it succeeds or not. So it's the five of us that ultimately make that decision.
Yeah, and it's been fantastic to see the reaction to your collaboration with Katelyn Smith as well. That's such a good track, and she's obviously one of the best female vocalists out there for me. So how did you guys enjoy the whole experience of working with Katelyn?
She's a sweetheart, man. She's just so talented and also just so kind, and she's just big old smile all the time. So it's been really fun to watch this song kind of do its thing. And we've had a good number of shows with her where I can pop out there and sing it with her. And it's so fun. Every time I walk out there, she's just got this big grin on her face, and she's really loving life right now, it seems like. So it's kind of inspiring just to be around that kind of energy of someone who's just super excited. She's got her first song on top 40 country radio, and it's an exciting thing to watch, and we're proud to be part of it.
Yeah, very cool. And just before I let you guys go, how good is it to be back out on the road? Because I know you guys are getting back to some sort of normality now, and it must be amazing to be playing these new songs.
Yeah, it's everything you would imagine it would be, just getting out. I mean, it gets taken away from you, and you live in this little bubble where you no longer have that immediate feedback. You have no litmus test of whether you're even relevant or doing a good job anymore. So, man, getting back out on the road and then feeling the energy and seeing it connect with everyone is really, it's why we started doing it in the first place.
You've got to come back and see us in the UK pretty soon, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what we like to hear. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate you doing this today, and hopefully catch up soon.
Yes, sir.
Right on, man.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.